Welcome back to Houston Life. When it comes to aging, do you ever wish you could just turn back time like Cher? Well, you can erase those unwanted lines, wrinkles, or sunspots on your face and get back to the youthful glow you once had. It is true. Our friends over at the Anti-Age Institute Wellness Center and Medical Spa say the latest advancements in laser skin treatments and Botox can actually do just that. So please welcome Dr. Richard Lacconi, nurse Megan Marco, esthetician Sarah Beard, along with their patient, Hiram Bonner, our very own Tessa Barrera. Modeling. Well, and also a patient, and I am a patient, full disclosure.
Yeah.
So we got a few hands-on treatments to show our viewers today. But Dr. Lacconi, explain to us, lasers really have come a long way, right? It used to be if you had fair skin and really dark hair or really dark spots, they would work for you. Now, there's a laser for all different skin types and skin colors.
Yes. Lasers have come a very long way, and truly some of the older lasers, which still have effectiveness in some areas, they were limited because they weren't really suitable for all skin types. They've really gone a long way now. They've got these new lasers we're featuring here, the Moxy Halo laser. This laser is safe for every skin type, and yet it has the same capability as some of the other older, more limited ones. This can tone, texture, and tighten the skin, give you a new general overall smoother color, tighter skin structure and pore structure. It's really terrific.
See, and that's what's incredible, the toning and the tightening, because I think a lot of times we think about laser hair removal, which you do, red spot, brown spot removal, which these lasers also do, but the tightening and the toning, that's really where we're talking about turning back the hands of aging, right?
It's really kind of, we call it resurfacing. I'm not sure if that really helps, but it does. It just kind of gives you a whole new glow, a new outer shell, if you will, of your skin. Even with plastic surgery, you know, most plastic surgeons recommend a resurfacing laser as part of the overall treatment to make the skin look young. So you've taken all the wrinkles out, you've done a lot of things as a surgeon, but the skin, if you can't do something about the kind of old look, you can do the tone, texture, and tighten. It just makes it look new.
That's where the laser comes in. Okay, so for our patient Hiram, who is undergoing the Moxy treatment right now, Hiram, how are you feeling during this treatment?
I could go to sleep, actually.
Oh, okay.
You almost
For a second,
were.
I thought you were asleep. Okay, very nice. And in fact, we are far enough away. We all have protective goggles. Maybe we should put those on, even though we can't see the head of the lasers there. And this is proof that lasers are not just for women as well. Sarah, why do you like doing this treatment?
I love Moxy so much because it's safe on all skin types. You can literally do it year-round, and it addresses so many things like hyperpigmentation, whether it's sun damage, hormonal pigmentation like melasma, but it also helps with texture of the skin. So think fine lines, pore size, acne scarring. It's also a great treatment for prejuvenation for clients in their like 20s and 30s to do that want to prevent aging as much as possible.
When I did this laser, Tessa, you've done this laser
I
before.
have.
And it does feel good, kind of relaxing, right?
The treatment was relaxing. You and I never get the chance to just lay down, and you wanted them, they started on a lower level for you, and you were like, no, crank it
I had them
all the
crank
way
it
up.
And I did my neck, my shoulders. I know these are very flattering close-up photos of my face, but the red, this is what you want to see, because Dr. Lacconi, correct me if I'm wrong, but throughout this process, essentially years of sun damage, brown spots, red spots, they're coming to the surface, and we're now seeing in the aftermath, the days after my treatment, all of that pigmentation comes to the surface before finally sloughing off.
Right. Resurfacing, basically, is that nice word, buzzword, resurfacing, you know, so it just comes off, and then you leave a nice fresh layer underneath.
I know.
It's new skin.
It was like, we were talking about, it was like a rough texture
Like a
at first.
sandpaper?
Yeah, it was a very sandpapery, like a cat's tongue almost. And we were
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, and it really is, you're like a snake. You shed, and you do have your new skin underneath. It's quite nice.
It feels, it's very, very satisfying. And again, the results really are so evident. The results speak for themselves. Here you can see a patient whose décolleté, their chest area was treated. Those freckles, the brown spots, the redness, they totally go away. My sister did this treatment when she was in town. She's a huge, huge fan. So again, a laser now for every skin type, for every skin color. Megan, how you doing? It's nice to see you.
Great. Nice to see you.
I typically see Megan around the office, and today, what are you about to do to Tessa? I understand some Botox might be involved.
Yeah, we're gonna do some Botox to the lower part of the face. we love to do Botox in the lower part of the face just because it can help to tighten. A lot of people don't realize that we can do what's called a Nefertiti lift.
Okay.
And it actually is by placing Botox in the muscles that pull down on the corners of the mouth and the jowls here. And then it also allows for these elevator muscles to strengthen a little bit.
So fascinating.
Yeah, it's great. It gives a little bit of a lift. And then we're also going to treat on Tessa her masseter muscle. So sometimes masseter muscles can be really, really strong and they can cause grinding or migraines. And so we can help kind of alleviate some of that. And then it also gives a little bit of slimming to the lower part of the face. So
Okay,
hand
let's
in
go
hand,
for it.
they go
Let's do it.
together. And then we're also going to treat her platysmal bands, which can allow for a little bit more tightening effect. And then it can help soften this kind of crepey skin that we sometimes get at the neck or those tech neck lines.
Perfect. Grab those needles
Let's
and
do
get
it.
to
Let's
work.
go. And
Let's see how
just
it's
so
done.
we know, I've had no numbing. This is a tiny needle.
Yeah, we use insulin syringes, so thin as an eyelash. Very, very comfortable. And
Okay. Go
for
those
it.
patients are great. So
And that really is an excellent point, Dr. Laconi. A lot of people who maybe they're new to injections, Botox, they're worried, is it going to hurt? I also never get a numbing cream done. The needle is so small you can barely even see it.
Right, right. You know, the thought of getting, years and years ago, the thought of getting 20 or 30 shots in your face would be kind of, well, forbidding. We've gotten used to that, but one of the biggest factors was this comfort needle that was developed largely for pediatric diabetics. So
Right.
these little children needed some way to help them not dread their daily shots, and that's one of the things they did. They've come a long way with that technology. The needles are polished so smooth that they just glide through. And every once in a while you feel it, but usually not too bad.
It is no big deal. We can see Tessa right now is handling it like a champ.
And I'm a baby. I do want to say that. I want to say, like, I'm like, is there numbing? Is there numbing? They're like, you don't need it. You don't need it. This is, I would say, it's like a little pinch. It's like a V-sync, but it's less than that. It's really less than that.
And Tessa, I know right now we're focused on the lower part of your face, your neck area, but how often would you say you are getting Botox in your forehead? Because your forehead is pretty loaded with Botox right now, right?
Well, as often as possible, Derek, is how much I get it. So this picture is me in my 20s.
Wow.
And I had those, I mean, you know me, I'm an expressive gal. I'm
Yeah.
constantly laughing. I've had these lines forever. This was me this morning. I'm like, I think it might be time. I want no movement. I'm just making all kinds of silly things, but I want to see how this face is moving because I love what the Botox does. And these these not IT bands, these neck bands, I can kind of see them in pictures. And what the Botox does is just like softens them up.
Well, it's good stuff. And it takes, what, a couple weeks for the Botox to fully settle in to get the full effect?
Yeah,
Dr. Laconi?
about, you know, give it 10 days, you know, somewhere there, you know, that's
Okay.
for maximal effect. You know, it's one of those things where those last 3 or 4 days are just getting 1 or 2%, but it's, yeah.
It's such a good feeling when it all starts to
It
freeze
is.
up and settle
It's
in.
so nice.
Hiram, you still awake over there?
Absolutely.
It is very relaxing. That is one of our favorite treatments. And again, it's such a great team over there at the Anti-Age Institute. Where you go does matter. These are highly skilled, highly trained nurse injectors. So please, if you're going to do anything to your face, be sure you are going to the best of the best. Dr. Richard Laconi, Megan Marco, Sarah Beard, Hiram Bonner. The office is beautiful, by the way. It is an absolute pleasure going there every few months for my treatments. Thank you for stopping by. Anti-Age Institute, by the way, does have some special deals right now for Houston Life viewers. 15% off laser treatments and Botox, just $11 per unit.
Okay, and you can scan that QR code on your screen to get started. You can also give them a call, 713-807-1000 to book an appointment, or go online, super easy, antiageinstitute.com.
And Tessa, we're going to say goodbye to you because you are headed out for a very special, super top secret assignment
That's
later
right.
today. So it was fun seeing you.
Okay,
Your
bye.
neck has never looked better.
Listen, I'm ready to go. I'm going.
You're ready to go.
Have a good show. Can I trust
Okay.
you with this
She's
show?
going to meet one of the
Okay.
most famous people in the world.
Bye.
That's your tease. You've got to tune in Monday to find out who it is. Team, thanks y'all. This was great. Oh, good. There's an empty chair.
your
Maybe
turn.
I'll just sit right down. Before I get some needles in my face, we're going to check in with Mel Camp.